Hey Bobcats, welcome to another episode of The Sage.
This week we've got an interesting look at what's happening with the Buena Vista Lagoon,
a feature on the Pannikin Cafe in Encinitas,
and a look at this week's sports. I'm Sam Kane.
And I'm Drew Winkler. Let's get right into it.
To start things off, we have a look at the local plans to level the Buena Vista Lagoon.
Madisyn Goerlitz has the rest.
We're here at the Sanctuary Homes in Carlsbad, right on the Buena Vista Lagoon. Now this lagoon covers a total area of 223 acres and prides itself on being completely freshwater, but this might be changing soon.
They want to convert it to a saltwater marsh with very little water in order to expand the highway, the freeway, and double-track Amtrak. I hope people will get involved because this is worth saving. We are fighting now for the hybrid solution, which is a combination of saltwater and freshwater to preserve both ecosystems, and they can get a hold of Sandag, the local governments, their mayor, Carlsbad Mayor Hall, and the Oceanside Mayor, because this lagoon borders both.
I was given the opportunity to sit down with Sherry Renee, a lagoon homeowner, and get more information on how she thinks this change will affect her personally.
The value of the homes will go down for sure. The beauty of what we get to see every day will go away. So I think quality of life for sure will change. I think I want the hybrid freshwater saltwater mix. We'll have more of a lagoon feel. Maybe there's a chance of some of the birds and wildlife being able to stay there.
Hoping to come back with some more positive updates, this has been Madisyn Goerlitz reporting for The Sage.
Thanks, Madison. It'll be interesting to see how the lagoon changes over the coming years.
The lagoons around Carlsbad are such a huge part of our city. I hope these changes are for the better.
I agree. Next up, we have a look at the historic Pannikin Cafe.
Sophia and Jessica chugged on down to Encinitas to see what was up.
Pannikin Cafe is a local coffee shop in Encinitas. Along with a great coffee and tea, the coffee shop has some unique history.
Well, Pannikin Coffee and Tea started in 1968 by our founder. His name was Bob Sinclair, and he started the original location down in La Jolla, which is still there today. And then from there it kind of branched out. So locations in downtown San Diego opened, locations in Del Mar, then the location up here came in the late 80s, early 90s. So this location is not the original, but the building itself was originally a train station in the early 1800s. And Bob Sinclair actually bought the building for, I believe, like $1 or $2. And the catch was you had to pick it up, you had to move it yourself, find somewhere to settle it, and then, you know, the repairs are on you. And so he did, and a lot of the antiques you see here were part of his collection because he collected antiques for a very long time, most of his life. And when he sold the business to the current owners, which is the Holder family, he kind of left the antiques with them, and eventually he did pass away. So, you know, he sold the business earlier on before that, but through there he owned a business, Cafe Moto, which is actually where we still get our teas from today. So it was kind of a very tight-knitted connection, you could say, between the current owners and the past owners. And because of that, he kind of built this legacy that's known as Pannikin, and, you know, now we're delivering to people across the United States. We have wholesale businesses that we sell our coffee to all throughout San Diego, so it's really built its own expansion over the last 50 years.
Many people who have gone to Pannikin say they like the environment and the history behind it. This has been Jessica Tipton and Sophie Mostamand reporting for The Sage.
Thanks, Sophie and Jessica.
I love hearing about all the local history we have here in Carlsbad.
Me too. I never would have expected that they would turn a retired train station into a coffee shop.
On another note, as you have heard today, we are watching Angst in Advisory.
Angst is an hour-long film and virtual reality experience that explores anxiety, its cause, effects, and what we can do about it. The film's maker's goal is to have a global conversation and raise awareness around anxiety.
Angst features candid interviews with kids and young adults who suffer or have suffered from anxiety and what they've learned about it. The film includes discussions with mental health experts about the causes of anxiety and sociological effects, as well as help, resources, and tools.
In addition to the film showing on Advisory today, there will also be an evening showing today at 6 p.m. in the PAC, where a discussion panel with local health representatives will be present. All families are welcome to join.
If you have any further questions regarding angst, you can contact either Mr. Morales or Mrs. Carrazzo.
Up next, we have Bryant Kitisin with this week's sports, covering all the home games from last week.
Take it away, Bryant.
You have to play your own game. Cover it up, don't let them know what you're thinking. I bet you never tell them how it feels.
What is up, Bobcats? I'm Bryant Kitisin with this week's sports. We have a lot to get through, so let's just jump in. Moving to the mats, wrestling matched up against RBV in a league duel last Thursday. Peter Rubin was the first to win for the Bobcats. After 3 periods, a bloody nose, and a bloody mouth, he finished his match with a pin over the Longhorn. Right after that was Luke McClellan, who pinned his opponent in only a single period. The Bobcats would lose the duel, but prevailed in their tournament Saturday with Cole Kirby and Luke McClellan placing 4th and Mo Gill placing 3rd in their respective weight classes. Right now we have Madisyn Goerlitz with Mo and Cole to talk about their recent placings.
Hey Bobcats, I'm here with 2 members from the SCHS wrestling team, Morgan Gale and Cole Kirby, to get a little bit more information on what went down this weekend for them. So Cole, could you tell us a little bit about your boys tournament you went to this weekend?
So the boys team went to the Jim Londos Invitational this weekend, and Luke McCulloch and I both achieved 4th place at the tournament, and it was a great experience for all of us, and it was very fun.
And Morgan went to the San Pasqual tournament and placed 3rd in the novice division. So Morgan, could you tell us a little bit about that?
I was really nervous at first, but after my first couple of matches and having a couple of friends there, it made it all that better.
And Morgan is a first-year wrestler, and I heard you pinned 3 of your 5 matches in under a minute. How does that feel?
I felt really proud of myself. Honestly, I didn't know that I could do that, but after all the hard work I had at practice and all the support I had from my team, it really made it possible.
And Cole, after seeing the events this weekend, what do you think is in store for the rest of the season for the team?
I think we can grow a lot as a team and expand our horizons, and hopefully come back next year for even greater season.
Well, Bobcats, this has been Madisyn Goerlitz reporting for The Sage. Thank you so much, Morgan and Cole. Let's send it back to Bryant.
Awesome, Madison. Wrestling will be traveling to Vista this Thursday for another duel. On to last Friday, both girls and boys basketball had home games versus Vista. The girls fought hard driving to the basket well, but lost in this league match. The next big game is a home match against SDA on Friday. The boys played right after that, playing a 13-7 Vista team for their game. The results of the game were not as expected, but Sage Creek still played well, with Nick Sonk leading the team in points and rebounds with a 20-13 double-double. They outscored Vista in the second half, but it was not enough to put them on top. The next big game is the home match versus SDA on Friday. Soccer was away for the whole week. The boys played 2 matches during this time, tying 0-0 against El Camino and a 1-1 tie against Oceanside, thanks to Titus Washington, which is leading the league with 12 goals on the season. The next match is 7 p.m. at home tomorrow versus SDA. The girls' team had a tough road trip, losing to Vista and El Camino last week. They'll be on the road again this upcoming week, facing SDA on Thursday and RBV on Tuesday. Moving on to announcements, we have Brooklyn Deal from ASB to tell us about Hoopcoming Royalty and how to vote for it.
Hey Bobcats, today we have some important news for you about Hoopcoming. The ballot to vote is now in your loot mail. Each person can nominate 4 people from their class that they believe embodies the best Bobcat. For freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, the top 6 people will be nominated as Hoopcoming Court, 8 for seniors. The winners will be announced at the Hoopcoming Rally on February 1st. All of the rules will be attached to the ballot.
Thank you, Brooklyn. In other great news, the Bob Squad just named a finalist for the 2019 CIF Battle of Fans competition. Them, along with 4 other schools, will be competing to see who has the most spirited fan base in San Diego. To join the Bob Squad, they'll be at the basketball game versus SDA this Friday. The theme is USA, so come out in patriotic colors. For more updates on Bobcat Athletics, check out the Sage Sports Center on thesagenews.com and follow @thesagesports on Instagram. I'm Bryant Kitisin, sending back to Sam and Drew at the desk.
Thanks, Bryant.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, Bobcats.
And make sure to head over to thesagenews.com for all the news stories.
Thanks so much for watching. This has been Drew Winkler
and Sam Kane reporting for
The Sage.